نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا صدق الله العظيم صلى الله على النبي الأمي وآله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلاة وسلام عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. My respected viewers, Alhamdulillah, we are reaching that time of the blessed month of Ramadan where we are heading towards the Eid-ul-Fitr, heading towards the day of rejoicing. And this is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is from His bounties, a great bounty for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, قُلْ بِفَضِّ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, say you, only Allah's grace and only His mercy, on it therefore let them rejoice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Holy Quran to rejoice upon His ni'mats, upon His bounties. And at the end of Ramadan, when a person is paid his wages and receives his reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of the hard work that they have done during the month of Ramadan, then they have the opportunity, as per Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command, to rejoice and celebrate. But what we need to understand is that celebration and rejoicing does not mean engaging in sinful activities. What we need to realize is that when we enjoy our time with our families and our relatives on the day of Eid-ul-Fitr, this needs to be within the bounds of Sharia. It needs to be within the laws what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed upon us. Because it will be ungrateful of us, after having received so much ni'mat and so much bounties throughout the entire month of Ramadan, that when the day of Eid comes, then we again become disobedient servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, we need to realize this, and we need to introspect on this, and we need to be very circumspect when it comes to celebrating on the Eid, on the day of Eid. As Sayyidina Farooq Azam radiallahu ta'ala an has taught us, in terms of reflecting on the day of Eid, as one day when the day of Eid came, then he was engaged in crying profusely. And when the people came to him and they asked him, "O Farooq Azam, why is it that we find you in this condition that you are crying so profusely?" So Sayyidina Farooq Azam radiallahu ta'ala an, he replied and he said that today is the day of Eid and today is the day of Wa'id. It is the day of Eid, the day of celebration for those whose salah and their fast have been accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is the day of Wa'id, a day of warning for those whose salah and fasting has been rejected and has been thrown onto their faces. Allahu Akbar. And it then says, I do not know whether my fast and my salah have been accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Imagine this is that personality whose good deeds are equivalent to the number of stars in the sky. This is that personality about whom Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam had mentioned that if there was to be a Nabi after me, it would be Umar ibn al-Khattab. So from this alone we can understand that even though he had such a great stature and such a great maqam, that he still introspected and reflected upon his deeds. And this is something that we need to inculcate in ourselves, inculcate in our societies, that apart from rejoicing with our families, we need to do this within the bounds of Sharia, and we need to spend some time of the day reflecting on our actions during the month of Ramadan, and also reflecting on how we want to conduct ourselves moving forward until the next Ramadan reaches us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq and the hidayat to increase our remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this day of rejoicing. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين والمؤمنات إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.